Hey guys, good morning and welcome to the course. So today we are going to see what is Splunk Power User and what will be there in Splunk Admin Certification course. So this is Rahul here and I will be your tutor for next half an hour to 45 minutes recording sessions. So I am preparing this demo session for you guys. So hope you will enjoy it. So let us move with this session. Okay, so what is Splunk? I hope many of you have heard about Splunk, that what is Splunk and how we guys are going to use it. And yeah, that's why you guys are here and that's why you want to go for this certification course. So basically Splunk, so Splunk word, how did it come? So Splunk basically came from one word, that is spelunking. So spelunking is nothing but digging deeper and to find something. So that's what we are going to do with Splunk, right? So Splunk will dig deeper into the data. So whatever data we are going to feed to our Splunk, that Splunk will try to dig deeper into it and it will give us beautiful business insights. So what all the things that we can do with Splunk? So one thing is log monitoring. Yeah, so most of you will be from monitoring team, or if you are going to work with DevOps team, or if you are going to work with any internet of things or any sensor, any robotics, any security work, anything. So in everything, logs will be generated, right? So machine generated logs will be there. So whenever Splunk came into the picture, so Splunk is basically about monitoring, data analysis, data visualization, and to monitor machine generated logs. Now, from where we will be getting that logs? So it might be from websites. For example, if you are going to use amazon.com, so wherever you click, whatever you add into your cart or whatever you buy, all the things will be recorded, and that recorded will be that recording will generate some logs. So whenever I feed that logs to Splunk, so basically, for example, if amazon.com is there, so thousands and lakhs of users will be there. So how to visualize, like from India, so from which state we are selling more, from which state we need to improve. So all the logs, all the users logs will be fed to Splunk, and using Splunk query language. So for Splunk we need to use SPL query language, so that is Splunk processing language. So that query language we will be using, and using that query we will get some beautiful business insight for that logs. So if you are having 1 lakh users on your website, and if you want to see in which state you are doing good, in which state you need to improve, or which product you are selling more, and on which product you are having highest feedback. So all these insights that can be done using Splunk. For example, if you are working on security, if you want to check brute force analysis, like if somebody is trying to hack into your system, then how will you do it? Then Splunk will come into the picture. So all the logs, all the monitoring or all the infra logs, that we will feed to Splunk, and using Splunk, we will be getting some beautiful insights. Like if anything is pre-decided that from so and so IP, some users should never try to log in. If somebody is trying to log in into that IP using that IP, then immediately Splunk will catch it and Splunk will generate an email. So that things will be known as alerting. So for security, Splunk will be handy. And this is not it. So analysis is there, visualization is there. You can create the best dashboard report charts with using Splunk. You can monitor all your logs. Thousands of GB of logs can be monitored easily using Splunk. All the sensor devices, all the website logs, all the mobile devices, applications, all the logs can be monitored using Splunk. But this is not it, as I said you, because there are many use cases of Splunk. So as soon as we move uh, in coming slides, we will see what Splunk can do, and how it is useful. So currently there is too much hype into the market regarding Splunk. Yes, because Splunk is growing, and currently community of Splunk is more than 2.5 lakhs users, because out of 100 Fortune 500 company, out of 100 Fortune companies, around 85 companies are using it. It means scope is very good, and more companies are moving toward Splunk, because the features which Splunk is providing, no other company into the market nearby it. So let's see into the next slides what all things are there. Yeah. So why to learn Splunk? So according to recently published 2017 Magic Quadrant by Gartner for Security Information and Event Management, where Splunk was named as a leader. All of you know cyber security is boom currently into the market. Each and every company needs cyber security experts. So what that experts will do, that expert will use Splunk, and Splunk will help them to prevent any data breach or any brute force analysis or anything which is related to security that can be done using Splunk Enterprise Security easily. And that's why, as we can see here, is Splunk was leader in security information and event management market. Now, currently Splunk is the most powerful tools available in the market. Yes, there are few other tools like Elasticsearch, Logstash, Kibana, Sumo Logic. But yes, even though other tools are open source and free to use, but the thing is the features which Splunk can provide it, no other companies are nearby it. So that's why even though Splunk is little bit expensive, but still companies are preferring to use Splunk, because it is number one in the into the market, and all the features which Splunk is providing, no other companies are providing. And we can see here is Splunk is trusted by 85 out of Fortune 100 companies. So as you can see, if 85 companies are trusting Splunk, it means scope of Splunk is very high. Splunk is the most powerful tool available in the market to get the best out of machine data. Yes, Splunk is basically useful for log analysis. So if you are into DevOps, if you are using some website, if you are into e-commerce or anything, if you are into security side, Splunk will be useful, because we can easily feed tons of data to Splunk, and Splunk can easily handle it to give us beautiful insights. We can see organizations like Adobe, NASA, Autodesk, Coca-Cola, and Domino's are using Splunk to leverage best out of their machine data. And we can see companies like Adobe, NASA, these companies are these organizations are like very big, right? And user will be huge amount of users will be there. So to monitor all their machine data, all their logs, they are using Splunk. So uh, I read somewhere currently NASA is having around 6,000 GB of data into Splunk every day. So you can imagine how good it is to maintain 6,000 GB of data every day. It means the scope is huge, and the feature and everything which is provided by Splunk, that is best compared to all other companies. And that's why NASA, Autodesk, Coca-Cola, all these big companies, all the 85 out of Fortune 100 companies are moving towards Splunk. Also, the average pay for the Splunk certified engineer ranges from $126,000 to $153,000 USD per annum. So, yeah, I hope this is more than enough to convince you to learn Splunk. Okay, about myself. So basically, I'm working with Splunk, Elasticsearch, Amazon Web Services, and Docker technology from past 5 years. So currently we are handling 1800 GB of data into Splunk and Elasticsearch every day for one USA multinational company. So other skills generally I work with are like Jenkins, Git, CDCI, machine learning in Elasticsearch. And but mostly I used to work with Splunk, Elastic, Amazon Web Services, and Docker. So I'm into training and development area from past 4.5 years. So I have clients like Mercedes-Benz, ITC Infotech, Cisco, Deloitte, and currently I have started working with Spelkers.com. And with Spelkers, currently I have completed around 18 batches teaching Splunk, Elastic, and Amazon Web Services. Okay, so Splunk, a big picture. So how Splunk will be helpful and how Splunk will work. So till now, what we have seen is like scenarios, all the things that was in a big picture, like how the Splunk will help, what is machine data and how Splunk will be useful, right? But now we need to learn as an admin or as an user, we need to see how Splunk will be useful to monitor all the machine data. So basically, Splunk is divided into three partitions. One is ingest, one is store, and one is visualize. So ingest is nothing but ingestion of data from thousands of forwarder. So let's say if you are working with very big MNC and if you have 1000 or 1500 GB of data every day, it means obviously around 3 to 5000 servers will be there, right? Now, what can you do if you want to monitor data from all the 1500 or all the 3 to 5000 servers? So for that, Splunk is having one lightweight software, that is universal forwarder. So we need to install forwarder on all the servers from which we want to monitor that data. So that will be moved to indexers. So forwarder will collect data from all the 3 to 5000 forwarders and it will ship logs to indexer. Indexer is nothing but the storage. So once indexer receives data, it will store it into indexes. So data will be divided into small events and that can be later that can be useful to search on it. So once data is there in indexer, we can go with visualization. So visualization is nothing but creating dashboards, reports, charts. So main funda behind using Splunk is to visualize our data into one better manner where we can get some insights like what our data is, how our business is running, and in future how we are going to change. So how we need to change. If you are running one e-commerce company, then checking your previous data, you can say that in coming 3 or 4 months I need to increase my production by 10%, 20%, or 30%. So all these beautiful insights will be given by Splunk. For that we are going to use searched. So searched is a kind of a Google search bar where we need to write our search processing languages, and that will be helpful to create some visualizations. So for example, if you are working with a very big company and you need to generate some reports or dashboards or chart, you need to generate every Monday. So what you will do is, so traditional method is every Monday we will generate that report and we will email it to our customers. But using Splunk, we are not going to do anything manually. So only one time we are going to write some query language. That query will generate some logs, and that charts will be based on real-time logs. So we need to automate it. So we will schedule it that every Monday 1 p.m. this scheduled report should run. So once it will run, automatically it will generate a chart. That chart will be moved to email ID. So the email ID which we have configured automatically, that email ID will get chart. So all the things we can automate using Splunk. So main three things which we are be using it, we will be using it: forwarder, indexers, and searchers. It means ingest, store, and visualize. Sorry. Okay, so today's agenda. So what we are going to learn today. So okay, starting with what is machine data, Splunk terms and basic workflow, how Splunk works, then career in Splunk, install Splunk on your machine. If you are going to use Windows, Linux or Unix machines, we are going to install Splunk on that machine, how to use Splunk e-learning interface, and we are going to index some sample data into Splunk. So getting sample data into Splunk and Splunk components. So what are the useful component of Splunk? What things we are going to use? Okay. So basically, what is machine data? Machine data is nothing but the data which is generated by machine. For example, if I'm using my laptop, so whenever I click something, whenever I delete some folder, whenever I open my browser, each and everything will generate some machine data. In fact, currently also, if I'm using my laptop or if you are using your laptop, we are generating some machine data logs, and that will be known as Windows logs. If you are using a Windows machine, that will be known as Windows logs. If you are using a Chrome browser, it means web logs will be generated. So whenever you are using Amazon or any other e-commerce website using Chrome browser, that website will also generate some logs. It will keep a track of each and everything, which products you have clicked, where you have clicked, which products you have added into cart, which products you have moved. Then server logs. So whenever we install some application on Linux or Windows machine, so that server logs will be there. So using that server logs, I can say whether that application is working properly or not, or any other network logs. If you are working with monitoring or infra team, you must know what is firewall logs, what is alerts, what is IP addresses. Then these networks logs also can be sent to Splunk and we can monitor it. Then databases. So database are like schemas, table, queries, configurations, all the things will be there. For example, if you are using Oracle databases or SQL databases, so whenever you query on that database, whenever you want to fetch some data out of the database, then all the queries and everything will be recorded into logs. Using that logs, I can say at what time which user ran which queries, and using that queries, what amount of data he fetch. So for example, if somebody is trying to hack into your system, and normal trend is that every day 50 users will use some queries and they will fetch some 5 to 6 GB of logs. But using Splunk, you can set alarm if someday somebody is trying to hack into your system. And if he is trying to fetch around 50 to 100 GB of data from your SQL DB, it means immediately after some threshold, Splunk will release one alert. Thus, that from past 1 month, you guys are fetching only 5 to 6 GB of logs every day. But today we saw that somebody is trying to fetch some logs, and that is more than 10 to 15 GB of logs. Can you please look into this? So by this manner, we can save, or we can work on security features. So any data breaches can be saved using Splunk. Then Internet of Things devices. For example, if we are using auto driving cars, any robots, or any GPS or any biometric machines. For example, if you have GPS on your mobile phone, then that data can be fed to Splunk. And Splunk will create one graph. It will create one chart. On that geographical graph, we can see that this user was present at this place at this time. So likewise, if you have data from around 5 to 10 lakh users, so it will be helpful to create one geographical map. On that map, we can show that in India currently there are like 5 lakhs user who are using these mobile devices. In USA there are 2 lakhs user who are using these mobile devices. And based on these things, we can create some statistics that in 2015 only 3 lakhs people were using our mobile. In 2016, 5 lakhs are using these mobiles. So we can see that in 2017, we need to be prepared with 7 lakh piece of handset, because more people are going to use it. So we can predict like what all the things will be required in future, and according to we will prepare ourselves. If you are using some mobile applications like WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter on your mobile, so whenever you use it, whenever you try to log in, whenever you log out, whenever you upload some pictures, and whenever you message someone, all these things will be recorded. All these things will generate some logs. If you want to get some insights over that logs, then you can send that logs to Splunk, and Splunk will fetch all the required insights. For example, if you are using Facebook, if you are running a company page on your Facebook account, if you want to see how many users are trying to read my post and how many try to like my post, so all these things can be easily checked into Splunk. You can create some graph, some chart that can be created, like how many users from which area were trying to like my page and how many users were reading my page. Then weblogs, that is like transactions, click streams, and browsers. For example, if you are using any e-commerce website, you did some transactions, immediately logs will be generated. It means that so and so users paid so and so amount to so and so vendor. And click streams, it means if you are clicking on view cart, if you are clicking on any mobiles, or if you are viewing any clothings or any other accessories, so all the things will be recorded. And if you have noticed one thing, for example, try to search for any one mobile on amazon.com, then after 1 or 2 weeks you will get email from Amazon that, sir, you were trying to watch this mobile on so and so date. Currently, the price has been reduced. If you want to buy it again, please go ahead and buy this mobile. So this way they can increase their sales. So currently, I have no intention to buy that mobile phone. But after looking at their email, what I'll do is immediately I'll go to their website and I'll check. Yes, if they are giving it for around 1,000 rupees off, immediately I will buy it. So this way the things can be helpful in increasing your sales, to know your users, to know behavior of your users, to stop any security breaches, to stop any breaches in your database, to monitor all your firewall logs. You can check like nobody who is having not access to my environment should not be able to log in. You can monitor all the server logs like Linux and Windows applications, and you can easily install Splunk for Linux, Windows, and Mac. But generally in production environments, we do not go with Windows. Generally, we used to go with Linux machines. So this is all about machine data and how Splunk will be helpful to monitor this. So few terms are there, Splunk terms and basic workflow. So Splunk terms, so throughout the courses, we are going to use some terms, and that you need to remember, like data ingestion, data indexing, data visualization, events, search queries, dashboards, forwarder, and indexers. So what is data ingestion? Data ingestion is nothing but to ingest your data from your server to Splunk indexer. For example, if your company is having 5,000 servers, and if you want to monitor data from all the 5,000 servers, what you can do is using universal forwarder on each and every server, you can ship that data to Splunk indexer. That is nothing but data ingestion. Then data indexing. So when you send data from any of your server, it will come to indexer. Splunk indexer will receive that data using Splunk forwarder, and the data will be indexed into Splunk indexer. So indexer will basically store all your data. All your logs will be divided into small partitions, and that will be known as events. So for example, if you have 1 GB of logs, that logs will be divided into 3 to 5 lakhs events. So whenever you want to generate some charts, reports, dashboards, you will search on that particular events. For example, if you are working in banking sector and you want to monitor all the transaction that has been done, then all the transaction that has been done will be divided into one single events. So whenever you enter any transaction id in output, it will show you only one event, that this event is containing this transaction. So so and so person sent so and so money to so person, and this much amount was there, and this is the transaction id. So transaction ID is the unique thing here, and using the transaction ID, we can search who was the person who sent money, who received money, and how much was the amount. Then data visualization. So data visualization is nothing but creating some reports, dashboards, some charts. So all these things, if somebody is from higher management, so he will not work as a technical person, right? If he want to see how much is the sales, in which country we are selling more, on which product we need to improve, then all these things we need to create from charts, report, and dashboard, and we need to present it to our top management. So that will be easy for top management to see in which countries they need to expand, on which product they need to pay more attentions. Then search queries. Search query is nothing but search processing language. So what we are going to do is we are going to learn search processing language, how to use that language. Not an issue. It is very easy to learn actually. So there are a few commands that we need to learn, but no need to remember anything. Whenever you need, you can easily, you can have any documents or anything handy. So whenever you want to use it, you do not need to remember anything. So all this search processing language is kind of easy to learn. If you have worked with SQL before, then it will be more easy to relate. Then dashboard. Dashboard is nothing but visualization. So in one dashboard, there will be like 5, 10, or 15 panels. So as per your requirement, you need to create some interactive dashboards that we will learn how to create all these dashboards. What is forwarder? Forwarder is nothing but log shipper. So in Splunk, they have provided one software. So that software, that piece of software can be installed on all the servers from which we want to monitor our data. For example, if we are having 5,000 forwarders, 5,000 servers, on each and every servers, we will install one forwarder each, and that forwarder will help us to ship data from all the 5,000 servers. So we will see how to install forwarder, how to send data from any server to any centralized indexers, how to connect our search head with that indexer, and how to query your data. What is indexer? Indexer is nothing but storage. So whenever you forward any data to indexer, indexer will take it. It will divide that data into small partitions, and you will be able to create some reports, dashboards, or alerting on that particular data. All these things will happen in real time. So as soon as the logs generated on your machine, Splunk forwarder will immediately pick it up, and it will send that logs to indexer. Indexer will index it into fraction of seconds, and you will be able to visualize it. So all these things will be happening less than 1 second. So it is near real time. Then career in Splunk. So why you should learn Splunk? Because many technologies are there into the market. But why Splunk is good? Why you can learn Splunk? For example, if you are cyber security expert, or if you want to make your career into cyber security, then Splunk is the number one tool in the market currently. Other tools are there, but they are nowhere near Splunk. So if you learn Splunk Enterprise Security, it will be easy for you to grow as a cybersecurity experts. If you are working with Internet of Things, like if you are working with some robotics, or something like auto driving cars, or anything which is like impactable. If you want to create something which creates some impact, it means obviously you need to deal with tons of data. If you want to go with big data analyst or business data and data analysis post, you can use Splunk. And for internet of things, like if you are creating some automated vending machines or something, then obviously you need to deal with tons of data, and that data will be helpful to predict, like in 2015 this many users were using this car, in 2016 this many users are here. Now what will happen in 2017? How many users will be there? So for internet of things, to deal with tons of data, you can easily use Splunk. If you are going to use work as a post of business analyst or any data analyst, then obviously Splunk is the best tool into the market to go with. DevOps. DevOps is, if you are working with DevOps or any CDCI kind of things, then Splunk will be very handy. So whenever there is some error, whenever there is some code check-in error or any other kind of mistake is there, Splunk will immediately pick it up and it will generate some alerts. So before we go into any mistakes or before we mess up anything, Splunk will be helpful for us to save ourselves from getting messed up. So cybersecurity, Internet of Things, business analyst, data analyst, and DevOps. So these few things I have shown you, but many other things are there. If you want to check it, please Google why I should learn Splunk. You will get each and everything. Moving on to the next slides. So currently we are going to install Splunk on our local machine. So I have already installed Splunk. If you want to install it, you can go with these steps. You can download a free Splunk from this URL, and in free Splunk you will be getting 500 MB of data limit per day. It means you can only ingest 500 MB of data into your Splunk in 24 hours. So this cycle will start at 12 a.m. in the midnight, and until next day, until after next 24 hours, you can ingest only 500 MB of data. So this free license you can easily use for 60 days. After that, you need to upgrade or you need to buy any other license. So to install Splunk, you need to create in C drive, please create OPD directory and install Splunk in that particular directory, because this is like a standard scenario where we will install Splunk in C drive and OPT. So whenever we try to write any command, we will assume that you have installed Splunk in OPT directory, and all the commands like OPT, Splunk, bin, Splunk will be written in that manner only. So try to create one folder in OPT drive and install Splunk in that particular drive. Then whenever you install Splunk for the first time, initially the initial ID and password that will be default, and that ID password will be admin and change me. So once you use that ID and password, you need to change your password immediately. So after that, you can change your password, and whenever you want to log into Splunk, you can go with that ID and password. So I have already installed Splunk on my local machine. So this is nothing but this Splunk UI. So if you want to go with me, you can download Splunk from this URL. You can install it, and you can use admin and change my username, ID, and password. So moving to the next. So I will show you what all things are there on Splunk UI, how to use Splunk user interface. So currently, as I will show you is, if you remember, I told you one thing. Whenever you want to monitor huge amount of logs, what you will do is you will be using some universal forwarder. You will install that forwarder on your server, and that server will pick it up. That forwarder will pick it up, that logs. It will send it to Splunk indexer. Splunk indexer will divide that logs into small partition. That partition will be known as events. And as you can see, this will be known as one events. So this is logs from one of our e-commerce server, and I will show you what kind of logs it was. Splunk logs, yes, access combined, open with code. Yeah, so as we can see over here is, yeah, so as you can see, when I fed these logs to my Splunk, there was no insights. As we can see, we cannot read, we cannot get any insights from these kind of logs because manually we cannot read any logs. So whenever logs will be generated, it will look like this, and we cannot get any beautiful business insights because it is very difficult for human being to read these kind of logs, and that's why Splunk is there. So whenever I send these logs to Splunk, it will divide my logs into small events, and that events will look like this. As you can see, this is one event. Now what Splunk will do, automatically Splunk will extract all the beautiful things, all the required fields which are there, and Splunk is thinking that these things will be useful for me. Now we can see for each and every event it will mention host. So here host is nothing but the name of my machine because I have added these logs from my own machine. So for me, forwarder is also on my laptop, indexer is also on my laptop, and searched, so this is nothing but searched. So searched will have a UI. Using that searched we can write here search processing language. So for me host is this one, that is name of my machine. Source is nothing but the name of the file, or if you are having any folder from which you are monitoring your logs, then source name will be path. Source type, that is customized name that we can give it to Splunk. For example, if you are handling some logs from any mobile application ABC, then instead of source type you can give ABC over here. It means whenever in future you want to search for that particular application logs, immediately you can use by using that source type equal to ABC. It means at that time you will be able to see data from only that particular applications. And we can see, once I click here, you can see host name is my laptop, source is name of the file, and source type is access combined. So this is nothing but the logs from one e-commerce website. Now when I ingest my data, initially it was looking like this without any insights, or the thing is I even cannot read these kind of logs. But once I give it to Splunk, Splunk has fetched many useful things from this particular logs. And as we can see, these logs is from any e-commerce website, and Splunk can easily show that there were 5 actions. One was purchase, one was add to cart, one was view, one was change quantity, and remove. So these are the normal actions, right? If you are using Amazon, what you can do is you can purchase some goods, you can add it to your cart, or you can only view. Now from here you can see that out of 100% users, 29.29% users were using Splunk or were using my website to purchase something. 28% users were only adding it to their cart, but they were not moving with checkout. Then 28% users were only viewing few items. So what I'll do is I will take IP address of all these viewers, and within 1 week I'll send an email to them that sir, you were trying to watch this mobile or watch this cloth on so and so date. The price has been reduced. If you want, you can buy this item now. Change quantity, it means for example you have added 5 to 10 t-shirts in your cart. After that your mind has changed and you want to change the quantity, so that instead of 5 t-shirt you want to remove 2 and you want to keep only 3. So that will come under change quantity and remove. For example, if you want to completely remove any item from your basket, what you will do is you will remove that item. So 6.9% users are removing some items which they have added previously to their cart. So how means number of bytes it will show, how much data it was required. Then category ID, that strategy category is there, arcade is there, accessories is there, T, null, shooter, simulation and sports. So all these are different categories, and from here I can get idea that 27% purchase has been made from strategy category. Then second number was with arcade. It means 16% users were doing their purchase from arcade strategy. Now I can see sport is at the end. It means what I need to do is I need to improve my performance in sport. So what I do is I will give some beautiful coupons, beautiful like discounts, and I will try to market this area more. It means I need to increase my sales from 4% to 10% or 20%. That target I'll set, and accordingly I'll try to marketing my product. These are the client IP. So this is nothing but the IP of the users. For example, somebody was trying to log in into my system from 87.194.216.51 IP address. So this IP address I will check. And using Splunk, in Splunk there are few things. Using search processing language, I can feed this IP address to Splunk, and Splunk will create some beautiful graphs. So that graph or geographical map will be created. On these maps, I will be able to check who is the user from this IP and what all things he has purchased and which country he belongs to, and in that country which specific states he belongs to. So likewise, using that powerful query language, we can get all these insights. Then some custom fields, date hover, and many different things are there, but we will not go into deeper. So basic idea is to tell you that whenever you feed this kind of unstructured logs, remember me, that is schemaless. So there won't be any tables or there won't be any schema, so nothing will be pre-decided. So normal logs, whatever is generated from your machine, will be sent over to Splunk. Splunk will divide that logs into small partition that will be known as events, and it will attach an timestamp that this event was generated on 1 January 2018 at 11:59:45 p.m. Then what was the host? So host is this one. It means at that time you will be able to see your application name or your server name. Source, you will be able to see the path from where you are fetching your logs. Source type will be your application name or any name, any customized name which you have given. For example, if you are using 3 applications, Facebook, WhatsApp and Twitter, if this particular event is from Facebook logs, then here instead of source type, you will see Facebook. Then from settings, you can check, you can create some searches, reports, dashboards, data models, event type, tags, fields, how to create lookups, user interface. All these things can be done from here. Then access controls is there. If a new users want to join your organization, if you want to use Splunk, what you need to do is you need to create a new users, and that users will be able to use Splunk by using that particular username and password. So if you are admin in your company, you need to handle all these things. Then we can see when I added the data, it was looking like this. Now what Splunk did is Splunk has divided that particular logs into 1,31,645 partitions. And let me show you. These logs was of around 38 MB of logs was there. And we can see only this much logs has been divided into around 1,31,000 partitions. Now, whenever I want to search, for example, this logs is from e-commerce, but instead of this, if we have this logs from any banking or any financial transaction, and if we want to check that a user came to me and he asking me that Rahul, on so and so date, I did some transaction. I sent so and so amount of money to my friend, but it has been debited from my account, but it has not been credited into his account. So what I'll do is I'll ask him, can you please provide me transaction ID? So once he provide me transaction ID, immediately I'll write some search query over here and I will check, yes, that this transaction is there, that was happened on so and so date. This was the IP address and this is the status. So in status, there will be like, if it is successful, then it will show status number 200. If it is failure or something is there, it will show some other status like 503, 406, 4000, or some other status will be there. Then all the dashboards, all the alerts, all the reports and data sets that we can check from here. As you can see already, I have like 2 to 3 dashboards. Let me see if any working dashboards I have created. I don't think currently I have any working dashboard created with me, but yeah, one dashboard is there, but that is not that much useful. So what we'll do, we'll try to create new dashboards, we'll try to create new alerts, we'll try to create new reports. We will see how to automate that reports, we will see how to automate few alerts, we will learn how to create alerts and how to create some dashboards, then how to write this search processing language. So this SPL language is very beautiful. If you are aware with SQL queries, then it will be very easy for you. Let me show you one simple scenario like how you can use Splunk. I'll show you one beautiful create and format chart, time chart, geolocation, client IP. Yes. So when we gave my data to Splunk, it was looking like this. It means no insights and nobody will be able to read these logs. Once I gave these logs to Splunk, it has been divided into 1,31,000 small partitions. Now, after that, I need to see like in which country my sales is highest. What I can do is, this is nothing but search processing language. So I have written this language and using that SQL queries, I can see the maximum amount of cells is in this part. So what is the latitude, what is the longitude, and here you can see by each and every product ID, it is showing that BSAG G09 has been sold for 525 times. CUPG G06 has been sold for 573 times. Likewise, you can see here is the maximum amount of cells. So this is India. In India also this company is working. So two buckets we can see over here. Then in United States you can see cell is good, and in this area cell is good, and here also in Russia cell is, in China cell is good. So where I need to improve? So the thing is, I need to improve in African countries. In India also I need to improve. So using this chart, I can get some better insights that my company is working fine in these three areas, but there is always scope of improvement. And for my next cycle, I will try to concentrate on this specific part. So this is Africa and India. So I'll try to concentrate more on Africa and India. So we will see how to write this search processing language, how to use these timings, what kind of times you need to select, how to use these timings, how to select any buckets, then how to create reports, dashboards. Also, there are few things in this Splunk. So one is Splunk Power User and one is Splunk Admin. So Power User is nothing but the one who is going to work as a business analyst. So he will be learning this SQL queries. He will try to create some reports, some dashboards, and he will analyze the data. But who will create these things? Who will configure your Splunk? Who will help you to fetch your data from all the 5,000 servers to your Splunk indexers? For that, we will be having Splunk admin. So if you want to go for the certifications, initially you need to clear Splunk Power User. After that, only you can go with Splunk admin. So few things are there in Splunk admin. So few topics are there: how to create clusters, how to configure Splunk, how to configure indexers, how to configure license master, how to track your license, how to fetch data from all 5,000 forwarders to your indexers, and many more topics are there. So one by one, we'll go with how to install everything on Windows, how to work with Linux, how to work with Mac. So all these things will be covered into admin part. If you want to see course content, you can go with spelkers.com, and here you can go to course detail and Splunk Power User and Administration. And here you will get each and every details, like what is Splunk, why you should learn Splunk, what is there in Splunk. So some facts we have mentioned, and about trainer, it means this is about myself only. So I am the trainer with spelkers.com for Elastic and AWS and Splunk. So this is nothing but my introductions. There will be some timings. The timings you can choose. If you are not able to comfortable with these timings, you can easily contact spelkers.com with clicking on contact us now button. Then course curriculum is there. If you want to talk with me, if you want to talk with trainer, you can directly contact on 8830820748. Then you can check course content over here. Here you can see Splunk Power User. Modules are there. The course has been divided into modules, and course has been strictly written in such a manner that if you are going to work with any corporate clients, or if you are going to install Splunk on your machine, or if you are going to install Splunk for any of your client, then it will be helpful to you, because each and every topics will be shown as a practicals. So once I will explain theory, after each and every theory you will be working on practicals. You will create some real-time reports, real-time dashboards. You will work on real-time Splunk configuration, all the conf file which are important in the Splunk, that will be explained to you. Search language fundamentals will be taught, that is how to use table commands, rename fields, dedup, top command, rare command, stats command, how to use lookups, how to create scheduled reports, how to create alerts, how to create pivots. And next thing is about Splunk admin. So once we will finish these 11 modules, we will go with Splunk admin part. In Splunk admin, there are many things: how to configure these inputs, how to write regular expressions to fetch data from your machine, how to extract all the valuable things from your logs, how to look at the logs, how to work as an analyst. If you are going to work as an analyst, how will you check your data, how you will get insights. Then parsing and searching of your data. Then Splunk resource management. It means how to scale your environment. If you are having 1 or 2,000 GB of logs, how to create a big environment which will be which will be able to handle all your resources. So all the things will be covered one by one, and for each and every topics we have practicals too. So starting from how to install Splunk, how to learn, we will learn search processing language, we will learn how to configure Splunk, and each and everything will be covered in details. So at the end of the course, if you want, we will take one exams too, and you will get one cool certifications from spelkers.com, and that certifications will be useful for you to show to your any companies. So if you are going to apply for any other companies with Splunk, because usually what will happen is Splunk certifications are very costly. If you want to go for Splunk Power User and Splunk Admin certifications, you need to pay around $1,500 to $2,500. That fees will be very expensive. So it is very difficult to spend around 1.5 to 2 lakhs just for the certifications. So instead of that, you can use our certificate and you can show it to your client, or if you are going to apply for any other companies, you can use that particular certifications. Then you can have all the details about course here. Then system requirement is nothing but any system with i3 processor and 4 GB of RAM will be okay. If you want more better performance, please go with 8 GB of RAM and i5. What is the prerequisite? So currently there is no prerequisite for Splunk Power User and Admin course. If you have little bit working knowledge of Linux command, that will be more than enough. Otherwise, anyway, I'm going to cover each and everything in detail. So if you do not know anything about Linux or anything, that is not an issue. How will I get real-time hands-on on Splunk? So to get real-time hands-on on Splunk, we will install each and everything on your local machine. After each and every topics, you will be creating some visualization, some reports, dashboards, you will write some alerts, you will create some workflow, lookups, and many more things. So we will have some special sessions on how to write regular expression, how to extract some valuable data, and how to configure the forwarder, how to fetch data from servers, how to write search processing language, as I showed you, right? One query I wrote over here. So how to learn how to write these kind of queries, that will be shown to you. What is the course fee? Course fee you can easily check on our homepage. So in homepage, all the courses has been shown. Will I get the demo session? If you want a demo session from us, please contact us at info@spelkers.com, or you can call or WhatsApp on this number. If you want, these videos will be shared with you, and that you can there you can check how the course will be, what all the details will be covered and everything. If you are looking for any corporate trainings, and if you want us to get some customized topics for you, you can always mail us, and our users will check it, our analyst will check it, and we will get back to you all the customized topic that you can submit on this info@spelkers.com. On the home page, you can check what are the pricing for all the details. So these pricings are actually for individual. If you are a corporate client, if you want to have training for like more than 6 or more than 10 students, then we will work according to corporate rates, and you can easily fill this training request form where you need to give your name, email id, mobile number, in which company you are looking for corporate trainings, what is the location, is it online training or is it classroom training, and if you want to give me any customized course, let these topics only we want to cover, then we will provide you training accordingly. Once you submit, you will get message that successfully submitted. Once you submit everything, we will get back to you within few minutes. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Let me check if anything is remaining. Yeah, we have already seen how to get data into Splunk. Yes, so these are the 5 components that I have already shown to you. What is index, how to search and investigate, how to add knowledge objects, that you will see into details, how to create and monitor and alert, that things will be like big topics, how to report and analyze your data, then summary. So what we have seen today is we have seen what is machine data, some basic terms about Splunk, how Splunk will work from ingestion to visualization. Then career in Splunk, that why you should learn Splunk. Then we install Splunk on our local machine. Yeah, actually we didn't install because I already have installed it, but during training I'll help you guys to install Splunk on your local machine, how to use Splunk e-learning interface. So yeah, I have shown these things to you, like what all things will be there, but once we will start training, once you will start working on these things, that things will be easy for you to recognize. Then getting sample data into Splunk. Currently, I already have this data into my Splunk, but once we start working on our training things, we will we will inject some data into this Splunk. So whatever currently I am showing on my screen, the same infra will be there with you. And using that infra, you will be learning all the things. So all the things which I have written over here, what I'm creating over here, that you will also do in your local machine. So whenever in future you want to practice, that things will be handy for you. Then Splunk components, that is nothing but these components: indexer, search, investigate, knowledge objects, monitoring, alerting, and analyzing of your data. Yeah, thank you very much, guys. If you really like this video, if you want to go for the training with spelkers.com, you are most welcome. If you need any more information, you can always contact us at info@spelkers.com, and you can directly call us at 8830820748, and we will always be happy to help you. If you are corporate clients, if you want to have trainings for more than 10 students, you can always contact us with your customized topics. So according to your project requirement, we will be create a new course for you, and we will give trainings to you guys. Thank you so much. Thanks everyone for attending the call, and hope you guys like it. If you have any suggestion, please mail us. Please suggest if you have any things which is creative and that can be helpful for us. We are happy to change it. Thank you so much, guys.